I could use... So, shall we begin? There are some tasks that I'm unequipped to handle myself, and I need your assistance. Excellent. As you've hopefully been made aware by now, the source of the weather phenomenon outside is a device that is under our control. Or rather, the lack thereof. Control, that is. In order to solve this error, we'll need to acquire the weather machine's blueprints. They are in the wall safe just over there. If only it were that simple. The safe can only be opened with a key. A key that my beloved wife Cassie has chosen to hide in a very secure location. So secure that only she knows where it is. This is problematic, as she has been unwell and unresponsive for quite some time. That said, she was a diligent note-keeper. I'm certain you could find out where she moved the key to if you were to search through her notes. You should find them all in our room upstairs. It is unlocked, so you should be able to just walk in. With my condition as it is, I'm unable to do this myself, and thus, my new friend, the task falls to you. I dare say I barely understand it myself. Prior to certain circumstances, I was blind, born that way. Since sad circumstances, I've come to be able to see, but not in the traditional sense. Alas, written text, paper, and terminal alike remain my mortal foe. Discussing the boring details any further are for another time, though. Please, let's return to the matter at hand. You will? Oh, wie wunderbar. Best of luck.
What if we go back to the surface? Nobody wants to know us because of our, condition.
We felt the whole vault shaking a while back. Security said it was nothing to worry about, though.
Just to get a breath of barely fresh air.
Seeing someone do so much good around here, it's refreshing.
Supplies are starting to dwindle a little, even with the stockpile from the supply runs. You know, before the storms.
Seeing someone do so much good around here, it's refreshing. security checks, just to get a...
We felt the whole vault shaking a while back. Security said it was nothing to worry about, though.
Need something? Supplies are starting to dwindle a little. Even with the stockpile from the supply runs. You know, before the storms.
What the hell are you doing in here? Get your filthy hands off her! Very well. But I'm sure you wouldn't appreciate a stranger manhandling your spouse. This arrangement is in her best interest. I apologize. Truly. I'm just very protective of her, you know? She is my other half, and life is just not complete without her. Of course she has the key herself. I should have known. Apologies for the confusion. I often forget just how unusual my situation has become. I was born blind, and lived that way even after becoming a ghoul, as you put it. However, as I've mentioned, an accident at this facility altered me, not unlike the lost that wander the surface. I see the world in pulses, wavelengths, a universe of violent synaptic connections, carving out and outlining every object and person. Navigation is trivial for me now. I was able to spot you in these sacred grounds even from my office. To the lost, I imagine this vision is a curse, a terrifying cataractous cloud that distorts their world. To me, it is a new life. Needless to say, I don't find myself bumping into things while getting around the vault anymore. Nothing. She's perfect. Always has been. Always will be. The same incident that has put me into my condition. Well, it made her quiet. Tired. She'll be right in no time. All the more reason for you to get a move on with those weather machine blueprints. No? Is that what I've said? I suppose I revealed too much with too little context. Forgive me. Now isn't the time to discuss such things, not before you have a better grasp of what we are contending against here. I don't think it's anyone's business to see my wife whenever they wish. I'm sure you wouldn't like that either if you were in her position. Just exposed for anyone to see like some animal in a zoo? No, not my Cassie. She deserves peace and quiet to recover. Yes, very well. If you would excuse me, I would like a moment with my wife. Come find me when you have the blueprints.
Research, and science, and discoveries, and news. Ah, screw it. I miss
There
how
was
it
a
was
landslide
before.
around the mansion? I wonder how that happened. Supplies are starting to dwindle a little. Even with the stockpile from the supply runs. Before the storms. I miss research, and science, and discoveries, and news. Screw it. I miss how it was before. You should have arrived a few years back. The old vault sure was something. You know, before the accidents. We felt the whole vault shaking a while back. Security said it was nothing. I'm tired of all the red tape and security checks just to get a breath of barely fresh air.
I believe you have something for me. Did I ask you to snoop around in our personal affairs? That was and is none of your business. Forget the petty gossip and focus on the task at hand. Am I making myself clear to you? Now, the blueprints. Have you found them yet? It is a step, yes. You'll be provided more information shortly. Do be patient. Remember, this is all new to you, but years in the making for us. Well, they're no good to me. I can't read them. Go deliver them to my daughter, Audrey. She's the one who's leading the effort to repair the weather machine. Oh, and before I forget, our conversation earlier, in Cassie's room. Water under the bridge, yes? I do hope we can keep that just between us. I'd hate for rumors to flutter about.
Been a long time since we had a good community gathering around here.
I'm happy to hear it. Oh, and before you go off to Audrey, I would like you to indulge me in another thought exercise I've been meditating on. If you were to repair a ship by replacing it plank by plank, piece by piece, so much so that no single piece of wood from the original vessel remained, would you have a new ship? Or would it still be the original, only improved?
You should have arrived a few years back. The old vault sure was something.
Right you are, my friend. Both in the origins of the question and its complexity. Let's say for this example that we can agree that eventually it is a new ship. Because I think the more interesting question is, at what point does it become so? After half of the planks? After the final part is replaced? Perhaps the rudder? Or mast? If we were to change piece by piece, at what point do we become something entirely new? Up. One moment. Let's perhaps hold on an answer. I'd rather that linger with you a bit. And you have important business to attend to. Now, off with you to see Audrey. She's buried in her books in the meteorology sector. I hope you have some good hiking boots. It's quite the trek.
Sure was something
Safe travels.
before the accidents.
Don't you be starting to change things up around here.
You there! I don't know you. Why are you in my lab? Who told you? Never mind. Yes, I am indeed Audrey Stoltz. And you are a sore thumb sticking out in my lab. Great. Introductions are out of the way. You know, there's enough chaos around here as it is. With the machine being broken, the clutter everywhere, and the electrified lunatics roaming about. So, unless there's something you're here for, would you kindly get the hell out of my lab? What's this? Oh, the blueprints! Fantastic! Did my father send you? Are we hiring outside help for the mailroom now? Never mind that, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that I finally have these. Well, the name says it all. It used to be a machine that did the weather. You know, monitoring it, controlling it, just the usual stuff. I think we picked it up as a way to sweeten the pot when my father was getting the board to approve this vault. A bit of nepotism later, and here I am. My father refused to listen when I told him my talents are wasted on this machine, but in the end, the research fell off after the bombs fell. Later, we found a very important reason to look into it again, of course. Which I'm not really comfortable sharing more on. Sorry, we did just meet after all. To summarize, this machine is important. My father wants it fixed, and I'd very much like Father to stop pestering me about it. Sure is. Biologically, anyway. Can't say he's ever acted much like a father. Nowadays, he's more my boss than my dad. A boss that keeps interfering with my professional and personal life. Anyway, you were saying? Yes, yes. Very excellent parcel delivery. Off with you, then. Actually, wait a moment. a helpful minion could be quite useful. Could you give me 2 seconds to read this? Here's a little reward for you. Count your bottle caps while I go over these blueprints. Come back when you're ready for more work. Perfect. The blueprints specify the exact part we're looking for. Well, I could use someone with outdoor experience for starters. Based on your skin condition, I'm guessing you're not from around here. That means you walked here. You're perfect for the job. Believe it or not, the Shenandoah Visitor Center has a device for monitoring the weather. While vastly inferior in complexity, it contains parts that you won't find out of any old toaster left to rot. It won't be a perfect fit, but even if the part is remotely close to the one that broke, I should be able to do some modifications to make it work. I'll analyze these blueprints more and do some research ahead of time, just in case. That just leaves you with the task of actually fetching it. If you don't mind, that is. That kind of thing is not uncommon for a national park this size. They had lots of tourists coming and going. Inclement weather would mean closing down some trails, or the park altogether. Anyway, that's the past. Doubt the park rangers have much use for it now, right? So, will you grab it for me? Thank you. The visitor center is just north of the manor, on the cliff. It's probably completely abandoned. The building isn't too big, so you should be able to find it easy enough. Once you have the part, come back here, okay?
Whoa! Oh! Who are you? Don't hurt me, please. I'm Kevin. I used to be a park ranger here before the bombs dropped. Well, I'm not sure I'm fit to be a ranger or whatever this park is transformed into these days, though. But, you know, the uniform is comfy enough, I guess. I live in a bunker just outside. Actually, wait a second. We got a little more pressing issues right now. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, that's a relief. Well, it's not here. It's back in my bunker. There's a bit of a problem, though. The door to my bunker got jammed from the inside, and I got locked out. I just went out to get some essentials. I rarely leave the bunker. Of course, I had to lock myself out when I do. Anyway, good news is, there's a second entrance in the basement of this building. Bad news is there's a bunch of weirdos in there now. I don't know who they are or what they want. I've never seen them before. But they did not seem the friendly kind, huh? I just came in here minding my own business when I heard some creepy chanting and talks about some Alex sending them here for a sacrifice. I panicked, and I locked them in. I don't think they noticed, but I bet they'll be real mad once they do. The kind of sacrifice you and me would make for. Human. They looked heavily armed. I didn't dare get any closer to find out more. You've got yourself a deal. Come and let me know when they're all, dead. I stopped hearing screams, so I came through, to check on you, yeah? I wasn't sneaking off. Never seen them before. Whilst they were locked up in there, I could overhear some of their conversations and chanting, though. They kept bringing up a moth an awful lot. Well, the radiation must have been too much for them. They also kept on and on about some big ritual and how some Alex had sent them here to help. Either way, I'm glad they're gone. And I hope this Alex person won't send any more this way. Oh, well, maybe we should have kept one of them alive. You know, to pass on the message. Well, hindsight's 20/20, they say. Well, it's been my home ever since the bombs dropped. And I am really not in the mood for finding a new home. If I knew where they were. I'm the last one around here as far as I know. But, to be honest, I prefer my own company anyways. A deal's a deal. Follow me. I'll show you to my bunker. The machine is in there. Well, the machine you're after is just over there. I mean, it's pretty hard to miss. Thanks for, helping me out getting back here. Ah! Oh! Ah! Oh! Oh, you again. You made me jump. I mean, have you seen those weirdos? So, yeah, excuse me for being a little shaken up. As little as possible. Yeah, I only leave when I need a few essential resources. I don't see why I should leave more often than that. I got everything I need in here. Well, a few went out scavenging, never to be seen again. Others left to search for their families. Now, I'm not sure if they died or found someone, but oh, I sure wasn't going to risk my life for them. Sure. Not at first, I didn't. Just a few of my fellow Rangers. And when the bombs dropped, we made our way to the bunker. None of them stayed very long, though. Sure. Oh, okay. Well, stay safe out there.
Did you find the part we're looking for? How is that any of your... Be nice, Audrey. I am sorry. Sometimes my emotions get the better of me, and there has been a lot going on. I think I figured out how I can make it work. Just needed to make a few modifications on our machine so I can connect it to the part. Nothing too complex. It's mainly just the type of unique connectors that our machine uses, so I just had to standardize them to hook a regular part up. All we need now is that part. Have you got it? What a relief. I must admit I was a little unsure there would be any machine left to rescue parts from. I hope I didn't get you into too much danger to retrieve it. I knew you would be a good fit for the task. But that aside, I never heard of any cult in these parts. Then again, I never heard much about any cult in general. My father kept me fairly sheltered. Quite literally. I wonder what they were doing there. Alex? No, she couldn't be. Sorry, I knew someone named Alex. I never found out what happened to them when the bombs dropped, but it must be someone else. Would you mind getting the part in place? It should be pretty simple after my modifications. All the connectors are standardized now to fit a regular part. I do it myself, but I just need a minute to gather my thoughts. I mean equipment. I'll be right there. Got my equipment together. Let me see how you did in placing the part. Passable. You forgot to hook up a few of the connectors, but a solid attempt for a first-timer at weather machine repair. All that's left now is to get a scan of my mother's eyes. She is the only one in this vault authorized to override security checks when we reboot it.
Audrey! Audrey! I thought I heard your voice in here. Oh, and our new friend is with you. Good, we might need you. We have an emergency. Your mother. She's gone.
What do you mean, gone? I thought she was in stable condition.
No, not gone like that. She's not in her room. Someone has taken her. They've left a note. Oberlin read it out to me. Some gibberish about a Mothman. Alex? In a cult? Oh, that can't be. I took care of her.
What did you just say?
Nothing, my dear. I misspoke.
No, you definitely said I took care of her. Want to elaborate on how you took care of her father?
Okay, look. I didn't intend for you to find out, but she was a risk to your future and that of our family business. I had to ensure you would stay here with us. I only did what I had to do.
Why am I not surprised? I had a feeling you were behind her disappearance. How was your own daughter's happiness ever a risk? Every single bit of my life has always been dictated by you, and I have been miserable for all of it.
Now, that's not true. You've always loved all this tinkering and such. All I did was make sure you were safe and would focus on what's important. The family business. And look around. Look how well it has worked out. This machine you've helped build and maintain. It's a true masterpiece.
Are you delusional? Look at us! Look at those mad lost running around! Mom is in a coma, for God's sake! How has any of that worked out well? I cannot reason with the unreasonable. I need some air to process this.
She'll come to her senses. There's always a flair for the dramatic. Takes after her father, I suppose. We have more important business to discuss anyway. We need my wife back. Pronto. And you've more than proven yourself capable of that task. So please, I could use your assistance. We don't have time to get into this. She was a bad influence on my daughter, a threat to the family business. I had to protect the business, and most importantly, Audrey, from her communist ideas. Now can we focus on the real issue at hand, please, and take care of Alex? As much as I'd like to trust Audrey, I had to make sure she wouldn't turn against me. Cassidy had to authorize any major changes or security checks to make sure Audrey is keeping on the right track. Thinking of it, it may have not been the best idea to only have one person authorized to do all this. Well, it's done now, so you better get going before they kill her. Oh, that stupid letter is what got us all into the situation in the first place. I should be telling you off for putting your nose in what's none of your business. But I think we have long passed that point. Cassidy and I were shocked to read the note. Such vulgar language. To think she is well read is beyond me. But enough of that. Back to your assignment. Wunderbar. Getting this machine repaired is in everybody's best interest. Now, the note left behind mentions something about an old abandoned mine. I remember there was only one within the park. Nearly purchased it at one point for some... actually, that's not important. Try and blend in as one of the cultists. I fear they may harm Cassidy if they spot an intruder. Find where they're keeping her and get rid of Alex. I expect you to do a better job than the last person I sent to deal with her. Disguise! Don't become one of them. But yes, that is the brief in a nutshell. Knew I could count on you. Now you better get going. I will deal with Audrey. Meet me back in the atrium when it's safe to get my dear Cassie. I will send out some people to transport her back safely once you've completed your mission.